Hi, welcome to our video. My group is composed by Chantal Triana, Gabriela Toro, Federica Vargas, Bianca Silva, and me, Juliana Torres. Let's begin by making like a little contextualization of industrialization. So, industrialization, we can say that it begins on Europe and part of North America on the 18th and 19th century, but actually the main beginning, let's say it like that, of industrialization was the Industrial Revolution. So, Industrial Revolution took place in Great Britain at the 18th century, and it was recognized by three stages. The first one was at the end of the 18th century, and it was recognized by the implementation of mechanical production. The second one was at the beginning of the 20th century, and it was recognized by the implementation of mass production. And the third one was at the early 1970s, and it was recognized by the automation of processes. Taking this into account, we can say that industrialization basically consists on the changing from primarily agricultural process to one of the manufacturing of goods. All of this based on an economy of mass manufacturing. Our group is going to discuss the significance of industrialization on Western ascendancies by providing arguments, facts, and opinions.
Significance of industrialization on Western descendancies can be resumed in two words: commercial activity. As mentioned before, manufacturing is maybe a word that people relation immediately with industrialization, and this process was basically spurred by the population growth presented in Western Europe and the United States. Encyclopedia Britannica 2020 says the population of major nation-states increased between 50 and 100%. Then the similar rates were found in the United States after 25 million of immigrants entered in the nation-state. As a result, a big rise of business. At this point, the society was being pressured with different factors. First, in Europe, with simple factors like the use of new food crops like potato, and landlords trying to take care of surviving broads because the decline of epidemic disease. And years later, in the United States, with inventors created incredible things like the typewriter, the telephone, the electric light, the petrol engine car, obligate to people to innovate and seek new forms to pay in labor. This spurred the nation states with considerable capital become in a dominance in world trade. In other words, a basic division between owners and non-owners.
In conclusion, the meaning of industrialization for the West was very important from the time new crops were introduced to the most advanced invention, as the creation of different machines had a great impact at that time and they still impact. This whole progress greatly affected the poor peasants since few possessed power and the others were subject to it. In spite of the inconveniences and injustices that were experienced in the development of the Industrial Revolution, this was the biggest driver of the technological advances that are still valid today. Not only the industry, the means of transport, the way of working, but also the way of life and thought were modified.
We can say that the effects of the industrialization on the Western world are evident in the economic and social transformation that took place after the Industrial Revolutions. For example, trade making changed little by little, starting with the desaturation of economic poorness per capita in the agricultural sector, or the significant affectation of the relations that existed at the time and the regulations of the policy that governed every society, from Britain to the outside, All this until the beginning of the First World War, when relations became alliances and conquest of entire colonies, affecting the global order from the individual economy of each country to the way they lived.
For this project, we decided that we could run 3 different sets of skills. The first one is our research skills. We had to figure it out where we could find reliable information and useful information we could put on our project. Secondly, we grew on our critical thinking skills. We had to figure it out our standing point and our own opinions about the subject. Lastly, we grew as a team. We all had different responsibilities that we had to fulfill in a certain time period, and we were able to put it all together to be able to present the project on time. Lastly, we had fun doing this project, and we hope that we can keep on working as a team for making a better project next time. Thank you.